Hey guys, Chart Stopper's back with another video. In this channel we take a look at different stocks and map out their key support and resistance areas on their chart. It's important to know these areas before buying any stock, and it's also important to know what kind of a trend a stock is in before you buy into it. Support and resistance is one of the most important things you should know about a stock before you either buy or sell. Also, if you're doing any day trading, swing trading, or options, you're definitely going to want to get familiar with support and resistance. Just to let you know, I'm not a financial expert. These videos are for educational purposes only, but I am here to point out key factors on the charts which do impact the price action of a stock. Also, I provided a link in the description for Webull. You could use it to open an account. I think you could still get the 4 free stocks. I'm not sure about that. You'll have to check. If not, I think they might have dropped it to 2 free stocks. And I also provided a link for Robinhood. You can open an account and get 1 free stock. Also, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks. So if you have a recommendation, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll try to get to your recommendation on that. Okay, so with nothing further on that, let's get to the video that we're doing today. We're going to be looking at PayPal. They have earnings coming up tomorrow, so I wanted to do a video on them and map out the chart and see what we're looking at here before we head into earnings tomorrow. So they're currently trading at $249.10. It is February 2nd, 2021. It's up 3% today, and after hours it's up another 1.72%. So getting into the chart here, let's get to the bottom of our chart here and map out our first support line. I'm going to be starting down here at the bottom at around, it looks like our first support is going to be right in here at about $100. So I'm just going to drop it in here at $100. And I'm going to be looking for resistance off that $100 mark. So it looks like I could find it right about in here is my resistance. So that's at $120. So I'm going to drop my line there. You could see clear support, price action bouncing off that support line. Strong support and coming back up, hitting this resistance once here and once there and dropping back down. And finally breaking through the resistance at this point here. Okay, so we're going to find our next resistance point. And it looks like it's going to come in around this area right in here. Let me zoom in a little bit. And it looks like it's going to be around, I'd say $160. So I'm going to drop my line at $160. And now we need to go ahead and find support off that $160. So I'm just going to go down here. As I could see, price came up, dropped down a little bit. And it came down where it hit here and bounced back up. So I got support at about 140. So I have my price action in between these areas right in there. And it finally broke through here at 160. And now we need to find our next resistance off that. And it looks like we're going to find that at around 180. So I'm going to drop a line in at 180. Whoops, I need to move that up a little bit. There we go. That's close enough. So we had a little bit of resistance here, not too much. You know, it was only for about a month. And you could see it came up, tested that 180, got rejected, came back down, didn't even really come close to our support, and then it finally broke through there. And now we have to find our new resistance. So let me grab another line. I'll move, grab another line, zoom out a little bit just to get a better look. And it looks like our new resistance over here off of our 180 support is going to be, I'm going to put it at $220. As you could see, it broke through our 180, came up, tested the 220, didn't quite make it up there, came back down, bounced off our support, tried to come back up a little bit higher here, almost to our 220. Got rejected, came back down, bounced off of our support here, came back up before finally coming up and breaking that 220 resistance, and then coming up to make an all-time high up here at the 254 mark. So we're gonna put our high up here at 250, and that'll be it. We have our support off of our high right here down at 220, so we're good there. And that's about it for our chart. So we have all of our support and resistance mapped out on this one. As you can see, it looks pretty good here. Okay, so let's get into the price prediction here on this one. Like I said, they do have earnings coming up tomorrow, and I'm expecting them to do pretty well. With digital payment becoming more and more popular these days, and definitely it's becoming more and more important to different countries' economies, I'm expecting PayPal and other companies like it to continue to grow and expand. And, now even governments are giving tax incentives when people use these types of payments. So I don't see this industry growing away. I only see it getting stronger and keep growing. The amount of users and revenues for these companies is projected to triple within 5 years, I think it is. So, with all that being said, I have no problem giving this stock at least a 300 price target by the end of the year, maybe even more than that. But it's definitely going to see or test at least 300 by the end of the year. You could see just the upward movement in this trend. I mean, look at it. That's just huge upward movement here. Ever since COVID happened, it's just been on an upward trend. And what you could do here is, let me show you. You could just draw a trend line, and you could just map this thing right out, and just draw a nice little trend line, and it should just continue to bounce right off of that. Well, I wouldn't even draw that there. Let's see. Let me delete that one. Okay, I would draw it from here. This is where I would start my trend line if I'm drawing one. And it should just continue to, I would start on this low and, hit this low and go a little bit past. Let me zoom in here. So I'm connecting it here with this one, and I'm gonna connect it here. I'm gonna move it in to hit that candle right there. Move this out, over and out a little bit, so you could see it's definitely on a trend as it just keeps hitting this trend line and bouncing up, keeps coming close to the trend, bouncing up, and it's following this exact trend line. And that's what some of these stocks do, is they just follow a trend like this. And you could draw this trend line on your chart and follow it, and you could trade it that way. That's a little trick you could do if you're looking to trade this thing, either day trading or options or whatever you want to do with this. Just keep following this trend line until eventually it'll break it. But it's a pretty strong trend line right here I'm on the 4-hour chart. So that's just a little tip for you right there if you're day trading or doing options or something like that. So anyway, that's the video for you. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you next time on Chart Stoppers.